Hello everyone out there in YouTube world. Hopefully you're having a fantastic and fabulous day. I know I surely am. Today I'm talking about, y'all probably seen this video, not video, but this picture of a chicken from 1957 that weighed 905 grams to a chicken to 2005 that weighed 4,200 grams. And so everybody's wondering how in the world did a chicken triple its size in that length of time. Well, I did some digging and some research. I got some answers, and let's go ahead and roll that beautiful chicken footage. Howdy y'all, welcome to my channel, Chicken Chaos. If you like my channel, please like, subscribe, I greatly appreciate it. Today, like in my intro, I'm talking about the picture flowing around social media showing a chicken from 1957 weighing 905 grams, and 2005, 4,200 grams, a little over 4,200 grams. That's crazy. That's a significant size in meat chicken. Well, how did that come about? It took many decades for it to happen. But back after World War II, people started eating a lot of chicken because they were touting chicken was great, a whole lot greater protein source than cows and pigs. It was less fat. So, of course, what people gonna do? They're gonna orbit around eating chicken because it's less fat, right? Yeah, for protein. So people started eating like crazy, and then the little farms around couldn't keep up with demand. And so these companies like A&P Grocery Store come out, started getting the commercial farming going. Because back then you couldn't go to your grocery store, you be pulling your hair out. You can't get whole new chicken. You probably can get some, but most of your chickens will come from little farms. You go to the little farm, you get your chicken, take it home, and process it. And you do what you want to with it. Sometimes some farmers did process it for you, but the way I read, majority of them did not. So you had to do it yourself. Then, like I said, A&P come out with these commercial chicken farms. It's a grocery store chain back in the day. And so they started coming out, and they had contests about chicken of tomorrow, and they had all these people enter into the contest, and the chicken that won, it was cross between a Cornish cross and a white Plymouth Rock chicken. It's a fast-growing chicken compared, like back in the day, it took 112 days to grow a chicken that's ready to process for meat. Versus now, it's 35 to 47 days to process it for meat. That's pretty fast growing. And they done this by selective breeding. Yes, you heard me right, selective breeding. They won't buy hormones, they won't buy any drugs or anything like that. They put antibiotics in some chickens, they do that. They do that sometimes, but not always, especially now. They find out that's not the best thing for chickens either. So, and then they started focusing on the food. They do a high energy diet for those chickens in the commercial farms, so they can do fast growing and be able to process quick, because it cuts down on their production costs of the chicken. Because back then, after World War II, it was a lot of money to process a chicken. So they had to figure out a way to cut the cost, and that's how they done it. Is by doing all, because like the feed back then, it took like a little over 4 pounds per meat bird. Versus The feed today is like 1.7 pounds of feed for the modern day chicken now. That's like cutting the feed cost in half just about already. Huh. So that would explain why chickens got 4 times the size today than it was back then. And back then, the white meat of a chicken was not very much. It's grown by 80% today from all this crossbreeding and selective breeding they have done to chickens. And another thing too, when they done all this crossbreeding and selective breeding, they mutated enough where disabled certain genes. Like they had a disabled gene where the chicken only lays certain times of the year, like the guinea does. Like a guinea fowl only lay spring and summer, then in the winter and fall it doesn't lay a whole lot or at all. That's how chickens was at one time until they messed with it. And next thing you know, chickens lay just about all year round. They can pop out but eggs like crazy. So it's kind of crazy how thinking about all they've done to the modern day chicken to get it where it's at today that we know of. You go back and talk to your grandparents, they'll probably tell you the chickens were a whole lot smaller. And plus, they didn't eat that feed, commercial feed, like they do now. They did more free ranging. So the meat tastes better, have more flavor, and now the chickens now are more bland versus what it was back then. That's something else too. When they did all this, they just made the meat bland, so you had to spice it up, make it taste better. But back then they had to do all that. The chicken tastes fine like it was. So all this crossbreeding and everything had done a lot to the chicken, and it transformed the chicken a lot compared to what it was back then to today. Hopefully you got some great information out of this video. And I'm sorry if it's a little long and everything. I didn't mean it to be, but it ended up being that way. I got on a rant, and it happens sometimes. And this is my first one I've done like this, so hopefully it works out great. Again, if you like my channel, please like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. And you have a wonderful and blessed day.